we're bringing back how to become a professional player, and someone who can definitely talk us through this is Frozen from FaZe Clan, because your journey is very unique in how you did it, especially with how young you started, even entering into teams. So I guess for you, you grew up in Slovakia, you were grinding a lot of CS, but when did you first touch CS? When did it start for you?
I think the first time I touched CS was when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
I remember, it was a chill evening. We went to see my dad's friends.
Yep.
His friends, they have two sons actually. Don't want to listen to adult conversations, so we would just bounce to the room and to see the guy playing some weird shooting game, And I know from that day, my brother asked for it's illegal, but CD, like he had to. I don't know what's the English word for it, but he put a game for
the CD key.
Exactly.
The old school way of doing it.
The old school way,
not
right?
just buying a game anymore.
Exactly.
CD keys.
So that's how we got the CS first time. And at the start I was just watching my brother play, because if you have an older brother,
he's bullying you out of the seat. You're not playing.
Exactly. And we had only one PC, so most of the time I would just spend my time watching my brother play.
Okay.
And once he had a mood to let me play, I would have my 20 minutes of fame and play a bit here and there. But yeah, that's how we started.
So let me look at this then. You're playing on these public servers. It's 1.6, right?
It's 1.6, yeah.
So you started on the good game. You're grinding this out.
One.
Yeah, so exactly. He remembers well. But then obviously there's a time, I'm guessing, where you started to play maybe more than what your brother did. So when did this change happen?
Well, there was so after we had CS, maybe like 1 or 2 years after that, I was begging my parents to give me my own PC, I really wanted to have my own setup, and I just didn't want to wait for my brother to be done playing so I can play. And my first PC was I got my dad's old notebook. It was like an Acer or something. It was.
Oh, so you were playing on a laptop then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a laptop player at the start. Yeah, that's all I could have back then.
Yeah.
That was great.
Hey, you don't complain. You
I
just
don't
take
complain.
That, yeah.
I have my own laptop, so I'm boss now. I'm playing in the living room table. Sitting down.
Was it a laptop when you're playing? You start hearing the fans go because you're trying to run it real deep.
It was overheating. Yeah. And I remember having this little it was like a little Logitech mouse. It was so small. It was like. I think it was like this.
Oh my!
It was so small. It was so small.
You have to claw grip the whole thing.
Yep. I think that's how I kept my claw until now.
Yeah.
But I think at this time is also when I started to search a little bit more about CS.
Okay.
I would go to YouTube and see there is tournaments in CS as well.
So this is how you saw more of the competitive scene by looking on YouTube.
Yeah. That's how I started to figure out there is actually more to the game than just public servers, right? And then I came across some frag movies. One that sticks out till this day is Annihilation.
Yes. Oh,
right?
No one's watched Annihilation. That is epic. There's 1 and 2.
Yes.
And both of them are crazy good.
Yep. And in one of those, there was a Slovakian player featuring called Devi. He had this insane clip in Lower Towns with it was a USB silencer 4K.
Yep.
If you play 1.6, silencer was fucking useless. So, but
you just always took it off as soon as you spawned.
Exactly. Yeah. But he made it crazy highlight. And I just remember going through this and I see a Slovakian flag down in the corner.
Yeah, but just so people to know as well, if they haven't seen the movie, it was his name and then the circle and it was the flag.
Exactly. And I'm like, is that a Slovakian flag in there? And that's how I was like, man, we actually have some Slovakian players playing at a high level.
Yeah.
And that's slowly how I started to feel different about the game. There could be more about this. Obviously I had to keep good grades. I think behave good and everything like that. But I remember there was one Christmas. I think it was 2011. I would really love a PC for next Christmas. So I had to wait the whole.
Oh wow! You waited a whole year.
Yeah, I waited the whole another year to actually get the PC.
You've got the PC. You've got the setup. You also understood what was going on in the competitive scene. So then, where did you take your next steps into maybe joining a team or playing with friends? How did we get into you wanting to go competitive?
So there were these websites with their own servers.
Yes.
Whatever was the name, I can say, but I'm not gonna. They also provided their own TeamSpeak. So if you played, I don't know, you played public server, they had 6 public servers. So they had the different channel for every server, right, and every mode. And I remember somehow I joined the room and there were people talking about a thing called gutter.
Ah, yes.
So now I started to not play public servers anymore.
Yep.
I started to grind gutters.
Okay.
which people don't know, it was basically 10 people on the TeamSpeak.
Yep.
2 were the captains, and they were basically choosing the players until the very last one. And I mean, what team you end up with, you end up playing, right? You have to keep in mind that at this time
In 2012, you would have been 10, right?
I'm very young, so my voice is very tiny. So most of the people, they didn't really want to play with me.
Oh no!
So I had to make my voice a little bit older, you know.
You just tried to talk a bit like this, yeah.
Of course, but I mean, if you're that young, it doesn't really
nothing
matter.
helps.
It
Nothing
doesn't
helps.
matter, man. It's like there was always gonna be people who's gonna say that they're not gonna play with a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just glad there were some people who actually gave me a chance and really picked me into the team, and there were people calling me cheater, you know. Yeah, but I mean, I went through this gather for like 1 or 2 years. This is what I played.
But like, how did we go from the gathers 2 years later into this?
In one of these gathers, I meet some players that actually had some sort of connection to like actual professional player, like OG professional players on like in 1.6.
Nice.
Like the teams that were on the top in Czechoslovakia back then, you know, which for me was
That's huge.
That's huge, you know. Like this is the people that I see in the front movies, you know, like Oscar back then, you know.
Yeah.
Like he was my idol for a very long time, you know.
Okay.
And I just remember somehow like meeting these people, and there was a guy who, I don't know, I mean, I guess he just believed in me, and I got the chance to join the team when I was maybe like 12.
But going from public servers to playing in a team is a very different thing.
Completely.
So how did you kind of learn your way through that? Just trial and error? Did you have someone that kind of guided you through this?
So the guy who I met on these gathers, he was one of my first, like, you could say like mentors, you know.
Yeah.
Like he really took me under his wing at the start. I was so young and he gave me a chance to actually play, and you know, he wasn't making fun of me because I'm young.
Yeah.
He took me seriously for what I was back then, and you know, I really took my time and tried to understand like what they are doing. Like if I'm doing something wrong, I try to understand it. And I mean, this is a transition already where like CS:GO is kind of starting.
Yep.
And 1.6 is coming to like a dead end,
It was
you
a
know.
very big end, yeah.
Exactly. So now CS:GO is starting. We are discussing if, you know, we should move to the other game or what. But again, I'm so young. I don't have money to come to a different game with my PC, you know, because I waited so long for this PC to be able to play 1.6, and now a new game is coming.
And it was hard to play.
It was hard to play.
That was a big jump up from
first half a
performance.
year in CS:GO, I was playing only D-Train against bots. It was the first train version, you know, like with the 2 letters at the both sides. I got a little bit tired of it, you know, just playing against bots, and I was playing the lowest resolution there is, like same as 1.6, 640.
640 by 480.
Exactly. This is the resolution I played at the start of CS:GO. You have
Bro, your consoles and all the buttons must have looked so big.
Bro, it was so ugly. It was so ugly. But again, the 1.6 was dying. The tournaments, there were suddenly less and less of them. You know, on these websites, suddenly a new CS:GO things were popping out since CS:GO was growing so much. So, I mean, the only future I really have in gaming was to, well, beg my parents to get me a better PC again.
Again as well, right? Because you're too young to work. There's no options of doing anything like that.
So, okay, coming back to one of the websites I played the tournaments on.
Yeah.
I stumbled on, so they would have these, you know, weekly tournaments. And occasionally I would see a LAN popping out there as well, which was in Košice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I think this LAN would happen every month.
Yep.
And you know, I would still appear on the like playing the gathers and everything. And like most of these people that I played with the gathers, they knew about this website. So Czechoslovakia is a small community in CS, especially back then. So there wasn't much to do, and people knew about everything in a way.
Happening.
Exactly. And I don't remember how or with whom, but I remember signing up to this LAN in Košice, coming with like whatever lineup. I don't like, it was some, I mean, people not gonna know the names that I played with, you know, but I'm 13 at this point.
Yep.
I'm going to my first LAN, which is just in like a small cyber cafe in Košice. The PCs are probably worse than I have at home. Coming back, I'm going to a LAN, bro. I'm going to a LAN, bro, and it's like 70 FPS. You know, I don't care. I'm now.
You're all on the same PC, so I guess
exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Actually, no. Some PCs were better than the.
Oh no, they were like mixed in. Oh.
Exactly. Some were better, some were worse. But
you had to try to get the good seat.
It didn't matter to me. I know I got the ace on the first LAN. In the first game, I got an ace. Yeah.
First game on LAN, you got
an ace. Yeah.
Oh, they can't be calling you a cheater anymore. Then that's got you legit straight away.
Yeah, that was my first LAN when I was 13. Fun fact: I mean, I I jump on the train. I mean, first of all, I had to beg my parents to actually let me go to the Košice because it is, across half of the country.
Yeah, it's all the way to the east, right? Slovakia.
Exactly. And I mean, I hopped on the train myself, went to Košice.
That young, they let you just go on the train and
Yeah.
go.
I mean, my parents must have had crazy faith in me to.
Yeah, you had a lot of trust.
Yeah, to just let me go.
You used to have I had forms, like waivers that my parents used to have to sign for me to go even take part.
No.
You didn't have that?
No.
Oh, the Czech and Slovakian way, it's like, the kid will be fine. Let him go.
Yeah, I mean,
he can do what he wants.
I'm glad they gave me the chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember pulling up to Košice, a teammate waiting for me at the train station, blood smoked already like 3 packs of cigarettes. We go from a train station to the cafeteria, and now I come, half of my team is already full drunk because it's like,
they're just chilling, they're enjoying
like,
themselves.
this is what the LAN party is about, having
Was
fun.
there a big age gap between you and them?
Hell yeah, these guys were like above 20 and I'm 13 years old. Yeah, these guys were like way above my age, all of them.
Shout out to them though for taking you with this
Hell
whole thing, because
I mean,
they took you on the journey.
Without them, I don't know where I would be. To these Košice tournaments, I would go with different lineups, and later on, these people, like, they would obviously be way more familiar with the whole scene. So they would, tell me about there is, Czech Championship. There was this LAN called Landcraft it was in Ostrava in Czech. It was it was the biggest BioC tournament that was in Czech Republic, and that in my eyes was like
the holy grail.
That was I need to go there, Now I need to get myself from Slovakia to Czech Republic with my PC, my monitor, my full gear. My parents actually, they since I had to carry so many things, they offered that they would drive me there.
That's a big win. That's a very big win.
That's a big win, and on top of it, they took +2 of my teammates.
Okay, your parents are amazing. This is dreams.
Yeah.
As a kid doing this, you can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah. So my parents, they took me, my 2 teammates with our full setups, drove us to Ostrava. The best team that there is Neophyte. With Stiko, Oscar. Yeah. This is the #1 team at this point in Czechoslovakia.
And they're expected to just clean up, aren't they?
Brother, this is like I just wanna see them go around me, and I'll be shaking,
Like, I fully understand you. I fully feel you.
This is where I wanna play now, So somehow, some way, we set up. We go into different games every day. We played like I don't even remember how many games.
And you probably start really early, finish really late. There's delays.
I remember playing until like 2 a.m. Then my parents are calling me because they obviously were there, right? They booked themselves a hotel, and they're like, "Are you guys done? You wanna come sleep to the hotel?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're done, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna sleep here next to my PC on the chairs."
Classic.
So I line up 3 chairs. I lay down, have like 4
hours. You're happy.
4 hours of sleep. Wake up, pop a monster, go play again. Yeah, we beat Cyber Factory. I was performing pretty well at this game, which later on helped me to actually get a spot.
You're getting picked because of that?
Yeah. So we ended up, I think it wasn't crazy, but we ended up on 6th to 8th position.
Considering how highly you put that event in your mind as well,
it's not.
That's gotta feel damn.
It's
good.
not bad, and I see like 4 places above me is Neophyte, and Esuba and all these teams that were like back then like competing for like #1 spot, So for me, it's very motivational to see my name or like our team very close to them, right? And I get a friend request on the Steam from a guy that I played against at the Landcraft before. He was playing for Cyber Factory.
Yep.
And he asked me like, "What's up? If I would like to try out for their team." He obviously knew how young I am, and he was at that time, I say, 28.
Okay.
By the way, he is my best friend till this day.
Really?
This guy. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, so he gave me a chance. I know he would tell me the story later on that, when he was writing me, in his head he was like, there's no way he's gonna play with a 13-year-old kid, So they tried me out. I remember first game we played in Mirage. I think I had close to 30 bump on the first practice.
So you dominated, yeah?
Yep, communication was all right, for a 13-year-old. So after the first game, well, I get a message that I'm in. And now, well, I'm making my entry to the biggest Czechoslovakian tournaments where actually I get to play on the stages, I get to play in front of the crowds, and actually making a little bit of money for myself.
So would you consider this your first professional team?
Well, I mean, if you consider something professional, you are you're making a living out of it, right? Yeah. At this point, I'm not making a living out of it. I'm going to a tournament. I'm going from tournament to tournament. getting a little bit of money from prize pool, stacking it up.
So you're just
and
splitting the prize pool and getting
exactly,
money.
and I'm just stacking my money and trying to upgrade my setup, you know. From Cyber Factory, we later on we went to Neophyte because now Oscar and Stico are getting picked up to...
They've gone elsewhere,
They're going to Hellraisers, so now there is a chance for a new guy to come in. At that point, it seemed like way more serious organization, right? Because, well, back then they were playing against Flipside. They were making a good name for themselves in the international CS. In Neophyte, went to the biggest tournament in Czech Championship. We won that.
Ooh. And you were like 14?
14 or 13, I don't remember.
Damn.
I'm definitely the youngest to win it.
Of course, yeah.
Definitely the youngest.
Still, probably.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, from Neophyte, we made our way to X-Status.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the guy from X-Status coming to us on some tournament and, you know, telling us about, you know, getting all these sponsors, maybe potentially even having some money to, like, on the side. So my first salary...
And you're still at school.
I'm still going to school. So my first salary joining X-Status was 80 euros per month.
And I bet your parents were happy still.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to school. I'm able to buy whatever I want, you know, like I'm able to...
At that point, you feel like a millionaire as a kid.
I'm good, you know, like I'm getting my money from gaming now. Later on, he actually got a bigger sponsor, which is one of the biggest, you know, electronic stores in Czechoslovakia, which is pretty huge at that point, you know, because...
I'm hoping they hooked you up with some gear.
I'm getting PC, we have a Zoe as a sponsor, I'm getting MOUZ, I'm getting mousepad. I remember buying myself a HyperX headset, you know, the red one. You know, everything was red and black, so I had to. My Forest was my idol, so Forest mousepad had to be there as well. But now, since we have a new sponsor, we're getting all these things. We are getting as well more money on top of it. So now, I'm getting my first huge salary, which is somewhere around 600 to 700 euros at this point, or I think 800 maybe even.
And then you'd be what?
This is 15 years old, I think, 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, well, we are playing here. We are also close to being like top 40, 30 team.
Yeah.
So we are already going through all these online tournaments on HL TV. Maybe, you know, picking up a win here and there.
You sort of qualifies for the major as well.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why the first one I saw.
Yeah. So when I was like 15, I told my parents that I would really like to move to Bratislava to go to a high school there. And since I was earning money from CS and my good friend who picked me up to Cyber Factory, Kedwar, shout out, he is my very good friend, and at this time I asked him if I could live with him. FPL at this time was just the top teams in the world getting invited. Like, you play good tournaments, you getting into FPL. Yeah. So now FPL Challenger is a thing, which in my eyes is pretty close to FPL already, right? That's
pretty damn good, man, especially the players that would have been in there.
Exactly, but now as well, I have a chance to earn more money on top of my professional salary. You know, I can earn money from FaZe as well.
Yeah.
And later, as the FPL Challenge is, you know, improving, FPL qualifiers are popping up. So yeah, I mean, this is basically my start to...
Did you qualify first time?
No.
Oh, really?
No. I think it was like to the second or third time.
Okay.
I think I even beat Robs in the qualifier. Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Hey man, these qualifiers, like the pressure I felt there to make it there, you know, and the relief I had once I actually made it, I think I almost cried that day.
Wow.
Because now I'm in a...
That's how much it means to you, man.
Bro, I'm in a league with the best players in the world. And I'm so young, and it means so fucking much to me.
Do you think you were the youngest in at that time?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Hey, man, I'm just
breaking new ground. Oh, man.
So yeah, now I'm in X-Status, playing FPL with the best players in the world.
Yeah.
So now I'm really seeing where my level can be, you know. Hey, I think I won it one time. When I was 15.
With the guys who are full-time, best in the world, fighting at like the top majors, this is the elite.
And at this point, hey, my first big money was like what, 5.5k I think I earned from FPL. Hey, I'm 15 years old.
That's a lot.
That's a jackpot, brother.
Damn, and you already had the PC, so you didn't need to upgrade. You're good.
Now I'm good, yeah. Now I'm just stacking.
You've got a bank.
Now I'm just stacking up my money, from the get-go. And you know, this is also the time where now I'm starting to think about what do I want to do with my future, because I feel like if I want to, you know, do something with a career, I should move in a different direction, because it's obviously nice to collect all these LAN wins in Czechoslovakia, but that wasn't it for me, you know, that wasn't my end goal. So, you know, there was a time where I took my chance. It was very hard to say to the guys that I'm going to leave, because they're basically the guys who took me under their wing when I was so young.
They're more than friends at that point.
Exactly, and yeah, I mean, it was very hard to make the decision to actually leave. But yeah, I mean, Crystal wrote me. Shout out Kevin.
You had Dev Walker's coach, right?
They work as a coach, man. Michael Ella there.
That must have been. Is it crazy for you though when you think of the names you were joining that team with?
That's like.
Because that's like
this is.
You got a major champion coach and player.
Like for me now, I'm getting closer to somewhere. You know, maybe okay. What was the downside was that the team maybe didn't have an organization.
Yeah.
It was a mixed team, but the players that are there, you know, I thought to myself that I can learn so much now because I mean, Kevin gave me so much, Crystal gave me so much at the start.
So smart.
I'm so young at that point that you know, and he has so much knowledge.
And you're just soaking up.
I'm just like I'm a sponge, you know. I'm just absorbing everything he's saying, and well, that was my basically you could say a breakthrough to international scene because we were struggling for a long time to find an org, and you know, I'm making my name, and suddenly, a few months later, I get a message from Kerrigan that you know MOUZ is building a new lineup, and yeah, he gave me a chance to play in MOUZ.
And then the rest is history, and we know what happened from there because MOUZ Sports was huge for you. Then you're on a real professional team. So is that where you became a pro? You think MOUZ? Yeah,
MOUZ,
in your eyes,
definitely.
So MOUZ is where you became the pro. Then Kerrigan kept his promise to you and took you over there to FaZe. And now you're still making history. And it's crazy, bro. When I look at this and I look at your career and why I wanted to do this with you, you're still 22 now. Like you're very experienced. I'm not gonna say like you're young, but if I'm comparing it, you're still such a young player with so much more ahead of you. Are you content where you are now? Are you more motivated than ever before? Like, tell me your feelings now you're going into all this.
Well, the motivation is, I mean, always the highest, right? Always the highest goals. You know, Katowice, Cologne, all the majors. I want to win it all. I want to win it all multiple times. I'm not going to say we're going to win it this year, but, you know, we are definitely on the right track.
Yeah.
At least with how we're starting at the moment. And, yeah, I mean, I'll make sure to put everything in my power to get my hands on those trophies one day.
And you always have, by the looks of it. This is a very interesting story, eye-opening for me. Thank you very much for sharing it with us all, Frozen.
Thank you.
This was how to become a professional Counter-Strike player with Frozen, and this is a crazy blueprint that if you can copy it, well then you could be a professional player later on in your career as well.